We have a guest that should be calling in at 8:30.
Okay, I'll look out for that. Oh, I think someone has called in already.
Probably.
Let me
Ashley. Right?
Say again?
It's probably Ashley.
Sorry. Ashley, are you on the line with us?
Yes, I'm here. Guys.
Hey,
Hi.
that's our girl. She's always going to be on, but no, Rudy's going to be calling in too.
Okay, no doubt.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I guess that.
So we're live in about... Oh, all right, we're going to be live in about 30 seconds.
I do. It's a beautiful dog.
Haley taught me.
What?
Kind of. I learned it in art, and Haley drew them a lot.
Yeah, if anything, I would say hope I would try to kind
Speak
of
up.
make yourself a little louder when speaking.
Got it.
Like, don't yell,
Oh.
of course, but make that happy medium. So
Sorry.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're all good. You're all good. All right, so we're live in 5, 4,
3.
3, 2, and we are live.
Hey, welcome to the BBM Global Network.
Welcome. How you guys doing? You're listening to the BBM Global Network, and I'm Dr. Paul.
And I'm Paul W Dyer.
And we are here every Monday and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you listen to Bridges. And Bridges is about getting you from here
to there.
And through something.
Or over something.
And we've got some things to get through and over.
And around. No, that's not what a bridge is for.
So, but today, every show we associate with a bridge. And today's bridge is the Payu.
Where's this bridge from?
It's in South Korea.
Did you ask someone
From South Korea?
how to say it?
No. Should
it's
I?
Okay. I mean, you should always ask your French friend.
Or
French bridge.
Yeah, but that was the French bridge. This is a South Korean bridge.
I mean, who knows? Maybe you have a South Korean friend.
I do have a South Korean friend.
Okay.
I didn't think about calling you. But the reason why this bridge is called the Bridge to Freedom. And today's human rights is the right to life. Now,
a lot happened this weekend.
a lot happened. Well, I spoke at a fair and down in Westchester.
Yeah.
It was a health and awakening fair.
Ooh.
It was amazing.
I can tell. Everything you post about it, you just have this huge smile on. And I don't know if anybody has watched your videos before, but when you get excited, you have like this walk that you do. It's just like, and then you look back and you're just smiling.
It's trauma and the relationships we have with it.
Right.
And this was Sunday, Sunday afternoon. The Awakening Fair is beautiful. I love doing lectures and webinars and education. But when it comes to emotional sciences, we get a lot of misunderstandings, and I think we don't often talk about it.
Like what?
Okay, like the hemispheres between the left brain and the right brain, the frontal lobe with the rear occipital lobe, or the amygdala that gives you freeze, flight, or flight. So, freeze, flight, or fright. Okay, so, and just recently, and what trauma happens at a specific time in your life.
Right.
And that stays stuck until you embrace what is going on
And
in your
acknowledge it.
and acknowledge it.
Got it.
Right, because you just recently did this.
With what?
Well,
I feel like I do a lot of things.
you did, but with the death of mom.
True.
The death of mom, you're still mourning. You're finally mourning.
Yeah.
And that's good. Finally.
I think it's a lot.
It's a lot. But it's a lot that we have to go through with trauma.
Yeah.
Were you afraid to do it?
I think I've always partially been doing it, so it's kind of just like another day in the park, you know.
No.
Trying to understand.
What park? What park are you?
It's a dark, stormy park. It's a rainy day that has some partly clouds because there's going to be a sun.
There's going to be a sun.
Yeah.
We had a shooter at a synagogue on Sunday. Hopefully, if the people haven't heard about it, you're hearing it. It happened, right? We had the mass shooting at the synagogue in Sri Lanka. This is nothing new.
No.
Right?
Not at all.
At all.
No.
Why don't we have women serial shooters or mass shooters? Have we had, if any of you people out there have heard
of a female
mass shooter.
Or a female leading it, because I guarantee
there's been some females who shot people.
Right, or like a sidekick female.
Yeah, that's like I said. That's like Bonnie and Clyde. I mean, Bonnie was a sidekick and she shot a lot of people.
Right, but has there been a leader?
I don't know.
That's the
Except
question.
in the movies of with Queen Latifah, and I can't remember that movie.
Ooh, with the 4 females.
Right. And
I know what you're talking about.
And they were shooting up everything. And Queen Latifah took she was like, she got shot up in the streets or something like that. Yeah.
See, he's connecting. Connecting with the shows and the movies. Okay.
So, but realistically.
Set it off.
Thank you. Someone set it off. Thank you. Someone said it. Someone set it off. Yeah. That was good.
Someone literally set it off. Yes, but it happened.
So, why don't you think females do shootings? Because you believe, what you have.
I believe because I'm in a class, child development and adolescence, and he was saying how they're gender stereotyping, right? And everybody treats a male when he is younger a certain way, and then a female a certain way.
Right.
Females can be in touch with their feelings, and they emphasize on females to express their feelings. Whereas if like a male were to fall down off his bike or something, you'd be like, listen, you gotta stop the crying. Okay, it happened, you need to keep it walking. Whereas if it was a female who fell off, parents would pick them up and be like, oh, baby girl, it's okay. You know, it's gonna happen. Just get back up and keep going. Right?
So we're creating these killers?
Subconsciously. I would think so. Like, you don't think, oh, my son is going to become a killer because I didn't allow him to cry when he was 1 year old. But you should always, like, kids...
No, because that's exactly it. When it comes to emotional education, we're not in touch with why we are feeling what we're feeling.
Right.
We're just allowed to suck it up. Mm-hmm. No, that's a bad idea.
But that's... Like, it's not like these parents are thinking when their kid is younger, oh, I'm creating a serial killer.
But here's the
because I'm not allowing him to express
But here's the funny thing is that I'm sure those same parents that did suck it up, pull your shit together, young boy, they're probably complaining about how their husbands don't communicate with them.
Probably.
Okay, you can't have it both ways because you're creating the same situation in your in the child, in the male child.
Okay, but most parents also don't have the education, or even they've never learned it themselves why they are who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and hopefully that's what Bridges does. Because we want to talk about it, because I think if we don't talk about it, we end up losing. I said this on Sunday at the lecture. We'll end up having a disconnect with your internal self.
Right.
And that's when you're going to cause such damage and sickness that everything you spit out will come from trauma.
Right.
Like all your words, all your thoughts, all your anxieties, all your depression. All your depression is going to come from the trauma state that it was once in.
That's buried.
Yes.
That you can't connect to.
Absolutely.
Got it. Yeah.
Well,
we're gonna take a break.
Are we? Okay. We're gonna take a break. You listen to the BBM Global Network, channel 200. You can always catch us here Monday at 8 p.m. I'm Dr. Paul.
And I am Hope Dyer.
And we're right back with Bridges.
Children.
Yeah, children. Okay, so cool. I actually found your guys' live stream on Instagram. So I realized that, Paul, your hand sort of hit the mic a bunch.
Yes.
So just try to be mindful of that, because that does get picked up.
Okay.
What about me?
you sound a bit far away because I guess you're still stationed on at your little spot, right?
Yeah.
So I know it kind of ruins the aesthetic of the live stream, but is there any
No.
way you can like come a
We
little
can
closer
always move
to?
things around.
We'll try to move things around. We're working on the sound quality for our live radio listeners, people, and
The look can be adjusted.
Yeah.
This can just be moved over.
That's just moved over.
Okay, can you hear us both?
Better?
I can hear Hope better for sure.
Haha.
Aha!
And then Paul, could you speak again, please?
I can.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, it works pretty well if it's like right, like directly in the middle of both of you guys, and like you're like if you're sort of like both heads are sort of equal distance from like the mic, like from Hope's side, and
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
trying to say?
Can you hear me from where I'm just right here? Or do you think I should move in a little bit more?
You know what?
No, you're good there.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was trying not to lean in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And then, all right, and then hopefully we can figure out a way to just get both of your mics set up because it is a cool setup, you know. So.
You like our setup?
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
All right, so we're gonna be back in about 20 seconds, guys.
I think this is gonna sound much better.
I think so. I
Yeah,
think
that's
this,
good.
gives
All right,
us more
you ready?
space
It does. More room
to move our hands
to move our hands.
because we're hand talkers.
All right, so we're back in 3, 2, 1. No, we're back.
Welcome back to Bridges, and I'm Dr. Paul.
And I'm Hope Dyer.
And remember, we're always talking about a bridge, and we're referencing a bridge every show, and we're referencing human rights. And,
Right.
and human rights has something to do with, is it something we stand for, or is it something we fight for, or is it something that we're just agreed upon?
I think it's all three.
Well, you know...
Because at one point in time, someone had to agree that this is a human right.
Is it human rights earned, or something you're just automatically born into?
Human
Right.
right.
Right. I mean, I understand
Born
that.
into.
You're born into. So,
Because you can't earn a human right.
but some people are dehumanized. See what I mean?
Get it? I
Yeah.
get it. Okay.
you see how I was doing that?
Yeah.
And if you let's go. Here's the other thing is right. We were talking about the shooting that just happened in California
Right.
at the synagogue,
Mm-hmm.
and they said it was an anti-Semitic shooting, and it was a 19-year-old kid. And I think there was, there's all these shootings that's happened, and it has happened, and will continue to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's kind of like stop running at the swimming pool. You keep saying don't run at the swimming pool, and every time you've ever gone to a swimming pool,
I've ran.
I've ran.
Everyone.
All these kids are
Or done like the fast walk.
the fast walk, real run,
Yeah.
right? So that's not stopping the mass killing because we're saying stop killing.
Right.
Okay, so
Or take away guns.
or take away guns.
Or giving teachers guns.
Oh my
because
God.
Florida passed their law that teachers can now hold guns.
What do you guys think about that? You guys are listening to Bridges, and do you think this is a good idea? Is this a way through and over something with teachers carrying guns?
I think it's a Band-Aid.
That's a pretty powerful Band-Aid.
I think it's a dangerous Band-Aid.
How
It's
so?
a Band-Aid.
But I've heard comments. Now, you know I'm into...
It's not the waterproof kind of Band-Aid.
But you know I'm into protection.
Yeah.
Right. And I have guns.
Uh-huh.
I teach people all that stuff.
How to work with guns safely.
Right.
Right.
Teachers say if they had guns, they would stop the shooter.
No.
Okay.
Everyone freezes. If you're not trained properly to work with a gun, you're going to freeze.
So is this going to be a resume thing? Like, hey, can you teach at my school, and I want you to cover my math class. And by the way, are you a trained shooter?
Or do we have to train you? Are they going to train all
Schools
their
don't have
teachers?
budgets for books,
Okay,
and you
so-
would train a
So
teacher
if they
for
don't
shooting?
have budgets for books, then why are they giving untrained people to work with guns? That's just as bad as a shooter. What, are they going to try and aim it at the shooter and then accidentally shoot a child?
That would be a mess, wouldn't it?
Have you watched the Netflix show, Quicksand or something like that?
No.
It's about this girl, right? Her boyfriend convinced her to shoot him.
What?
Yeah, but he shot. I'm not gonna say the whole thing because you gotta just watch it on Netflix. Another show I gotta reference, but
I don't know how you do it. I don't know. Is this a planned thing?
I watched it all in one night.
Okay.
So it's not like a long thing. You can
Okay.
watch it. It's multiple series, but he shot up a whole classroom of people. Not a whole classroom. Maybe like I want to say 1, 2, 3.
He shot people.
Yeah, he shot people in a school. And then he was like, shoot. And like nobody knows why. I forget why. He was telling her to shoot, or who he was telling her to shoot. And he was like, you know what would happen if you don't shoot. So she shot him. But she's never shot a person before. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She has been hunting, but that's not the same as shooting a person. But she accidentally killed her best friend.
So accidents happen. We get it.
Yeah, but she ended up like being sent to jail for a little bit while the case was going because she shot her best friend.
We have a human issue. We have a human condition issue.
What do you mean?
Have you been around people who spat it, and forgive me for using these words, nigger, kike, spick, and you've been around those people that use it as jokes and punchlines, and they think it's just okay.
Well, the first one, yeah, but I've never heard the others, ever.
So nigger you've heard.
Yeah.
And it's nigger this, nigger that, nigger this. But I'm not even talking about the connotation that some black people may use as a friendly gesture. I'm talking about as a nasty gesture. Like,
Yeah.
Yes. When you are around it, people use it so easily that
it's like it rolls off their tongue.
it rolls off their tongue.
Uh-huh.
And they think it's just something that they're used to.
Mm-mm.
So that's a human issue.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, don't you think that's a seed of a problem right there? Well, okay, so we got a question. Someone's asking us, what's this playing in the background? It's called the Eyes on the Prize. And the Eyes on the Prize is about the civil rights movement. And the reason why I brought that up, and I don't want to play the volume, you guys can go look for it yourself. But the issue is that we don't have just a civil rights issue, we have a human issue. Mm-hmm. We have a human condition issue that we're stuck in trauma.
Right.
We're stuck in trauma from this time here with the civil rights. We're stuck in trauma with the people fighting and shooting up synagogues. We're stuck in trauma with telling our kids to suck it up when they should be learning to express themselves freely, openly, and safely.
Mm-hmm. And people bullying others for being able to express themselves.
But I think our bullying problem is also don't run at the pool. You keep telling these kids don't bully, and they're going to bully when we have.
When you turn your back, they're bullying.
They're bullying.
Right away. How to stop it?
Like I said,
They could express themselves.
One, and I'll give.
My teacher said something great today.
What?
He said, it's gonna sound like I'm repeating myself, but it's hurt people hurt people.
No, it does. They do. But when people hurt others, I'm not sure if they know they hurt others. I think they do it out of such condition, such habitual habit, that trauma, like I was giving a lecture yesterday, you have to work on yourself to understand where you are at and how you're being developed and what's manifesting. We talk, if you don't understand what you're doing, how do you understand where you can go? You gonna take us a break?
Well, we're gonna go on a short break, on the radio at least. You're listening to BBM Global Network, Bridges with Hope Dyer.
And Dr. Paul. You
We'll
can call us at 877-475-8570. We'll be right back after these messages.
How'd you remember that?
Knowledge.
because the thing's not up. I was gonna try and do it. I froze because I was kind of looking for it, and that's where I froze.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, guys. Paul, now you sound a bit far away now.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, I'll get closer.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect.
So, you guys have questions out there, and I know you guys are watching live on Facebook and live on Instagram, and thank you guys for being participants of the show.
Mm-hmm.
We really appreciate that, especially with the set it off and things like that. But how do you feel about the names being called, you know, and it's tough to almost like put this on the radio, but I'll put this on the Facebook, but the nigger, kike, spick, wah, all those nasty names people call each other.
That roll off their
that
tongue.
rolls off their tongue like it's an easy comical joke. How are you allowed that to influence your life? Have you ever done it? Have you called someone out of their name?
No. Oh. Well.
I'm not talking like bitch ass.
Oh,
Nothing,
like in those
words, yeah.
No.
You don't need that vibe.
I just feel like it hurts me to say those words.
They say,
you know what I'm saying?
So Hannah on Facebook, she had said women are usually caregivers unless trained otherwise. Well, okay.
I've been trained to do a lot of things. I am athletic.
Yes.
I have shotguns.
You're in the military.
Let's not talk. Not everybody needs to know.
Sorry, back in about 15 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. Not everybody needs to know.
You don't think so?
Listen, a lot of people don't know. I disappeared.
Guys.
Okay.
Back in 3, 2, and we're back.
Welcome back to Bridges, and we're back on Bridges and live on the BBM Global Network. Remember, you can call in, give a suggestion or comments at 877-475-8570. You can always catch the podcast. It comes out roughly about Wednesday or Thursday.
Or super early.
It's just getting super early, so this is really cool. On iTunes and iHeartRadio, so it's really amazing. So we've been doing some really amazing stuff on the show. We've been having some amazing guests. But today we're talking about the Bridge to Freedom is in South Korea. In the town of South Korea, it's the Payu Bridge, right? The Payu area. And the human rights is the right to life. Mm-hmm. This is really wrapped around trauma.
Right.
And I'll give you my 5 things to trauma. The 5 things to trauma is recognize, understand, and then take action to clear it.
That's 3.
Yeah, but I don't. But there's the other 2. Those are my top 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Because if you don't recognize your trauma, that you have it, which is awareness, and if you don't take the time and you don't clear it, you're always going to keep cycling back around in trauma, which is always going to keep creating that sickness inside your body. You're a trained woman.
I'm trained in a lot of things.
Right, and some people have said out there on Facebook have said that women are normally caregivers, that's why they're not killers?
I think it's, it's said that women are natural caregivers, which I totally get it.
Okay.
But I think humans naturally are caregivers.
Humans are.
Yeah, just like it's how it's a natural instinct to get food when you're hungry. I just think
ice cream is more natural than food.
You heard it when I said we're terrible. Stewart's, if anybody lives in New York, because I'm pretty sure Stewart's is not in the South.
No, it's not.
Stewart's is having their $2.99 half-gallon sale, just so you know.
You're funny.
Go get your ice cream on a discount. It's usually $4. That's a whole $2 off.
We got sponsors we got to do, so Stewart's isn't one of them.
No.
So, go ahead, what were you saying about humans are caregivers?
Yeah, it's just like how you don't have a natural born racist. It's learned.
It's inbred by the environment.
Men are learned to not be natural caregivers. way back when, it was females staying at home, taking care of their kids. That's what little boys saw. That's what little females saw. Their mothers being at home while their father went to work. Now, you're kind of seeing fathers being home with the kids, doing at-home jobs, or being an at-home dad, which is amazing. It's starting to see a whole thing, a whole new world.
Yes. Yes.
Aladdin's coming out too. But
it's a whole new world. Is that what you're
Yes.
thinking of? That song? Gotcha.
yeah, I didn't want to say it because now it's stuck in my head.
So, I've been doing training and weaponry for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I've been training with
How many females do you know have been training in weaponry?
that I know. I do know quite a few.
Quite a few, but are
Yes, I do. That's because that's where I'm at, though. I know those people. In comparison, yeah, it's 3%, 30%.
Okay. And in the younger generations, do you see more
No.
rise in females?
No, I don't understand why that's not true. I don't understand why women don't take a part of themselves to want to be more Wonder Womanish.
What did you say?
More Wonder Womanish.
What does that mean?
You know what Wonder Woman is?
Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
That's not what I was hearing.
What did you hear?
Wonder Womanish.
That's what I said. Wonder Woman-ish.
No, I heard Wonder Womanish.
No, I said, what do you do? Anyway, more,
Off track.
off track. More,
Females trying to be strong
yes.
for themselves.
Yes.
I totally get it.
Maybe I'm biased having 7 daughters. I don't know. I don't know if that's an issue. I don't know if that's not my cause. That's not my purpose. Because always build a strong woman, it's not just a strong woman, it's a strong human being.
Very true.
So there should be no difference.
There shouldn't, but there is.
But our society treats...
Exactly, our society.
Yeah, but we have to learn how to develop that for ourselves.
Yeah, but it's just like...
So back to what I was saying. So I've been training in weaponry for a long time.
Okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I also train in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And
in touch with your feelings.
yes, and I'm very in touch with my feelings. And I want to train in peace. And I practice peaceful action. I practice compassion. I practice kindness. I practice. Do I practice the other thing? One of the things I say, I'd rather be a warrior who gardens in peacetime than a gardener who does not know how to be in war.
Mm-hmm.
I can be anywhere, anytime, and I'm going to protect people, not just mine, but people who cannot protect themselves.
Right.
But I also want to train people to help them understand where they're at also.
So does this go back to the question that you keep asking me? Do you feel like everyone should go to basic training?
Yes.
So that they are able to be the warrior first and then gardener second?
But also be a compassionate person to your neighbor too. I think people don't know how to work together. And I think like this 19-year-old kid who shot up the synagogue, and we don't know just yet why this person did what it did. Right?
He hasn't said it himself.
No.
And the only way that we'll know why he did what he did is because he's going to say it. We can always have all these assumptions and everything, but we're never going to actually know
30 seconds.
what it is, what his reasoning was. He could have been like, hey, it was a boring afternoon and I had nothing else to do.
Yeah?
Or he could have some mental problems.
And I think, well, we got to come back from this break. We're listening to Bridges on the BBM Global Network. Thank you for listening to Bridges. I'm your host, Dr. Paul.
And I'm Hope Dyer.
And we're right back after these messages. So...
Okay, great. I think your caller's in, Paul.
Okay.
Oh, it's 8:30.
Yeah. Rudy,
Wow.
bring him in.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thanks, rude dog.
I'm dead.
It's been a rough day.
I bet it has. So as soon as we get back from this break, and you're on the phone, you have me, and then my daughter here. I don't know if you've been listening to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm gonna have you introduce yourself. I'm gonna introduce you as Rude Dog because that's your call sign, buddy.
Okay.
That's your show name.
That's your show name.
It's the Root Dog Show. Yeah. I'm good with it. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't care.
And
I've
you
dubbed that since I was a teenager, so.
really?
What?
Yeah.
But it's your show name.
It's also a show name. So you guys are listening on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. We have Rude Dog who's going to be coming on with us. It's gonna be fascinating because this is like in this sports thing.
Yeah.
And as a Giant fan, I've been in pain. So I personally could have shot something up.
Are you in pain because they did a bad first round pick?
They did a horrible first pick. Horrible.
I feel like
It's epic.
I was rooting for.
When you're Dave Gettleman.
Yeah, it was epic. It was epically bad.
Yeah.
Epic.
I feel like they
We're back
picked
in about
someone.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Okay, thanks, Sal. Perry.
Perry,
Yeah, I said Sal.
Oh.
that's okay.
Sorry,
All
Harry.
right.
Sorry, Perry.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
3.
You wrote it.
2, 1, and we are back.
Welcome back to the BBM Global Network
And you listen to Dr. Paul.
and Hope Dyer.
And we are here every Monday at 8 p.m. and we're listening to Bridges. So, and you can give us a call at 877-475-8570. And the bridge is the Bridge to Freedom, and it's in Apayao, South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And then the human rights is the right to life. And we have our guest on the show, and his nickname on his radio show is Rude Dog. So Rude Dog, come into the lighthouse.
Thanks for having me on, Doctor. Pleasure to be on. It's an older name because I'm an older guy, so I actually acquired this name at a very young teen age. And it kind of sucks in.
Have you ever heard of Rudy Is it Rudy the football player?
It was Rudy, the football player.
Patrick was referenced as
Yeah,
Rudy.
Rudy Rudiger, who plays for Notre Dame.
So
Yeah,
so
I watched that movie.
So first of all, tell our audience who you are and what you do, and then we'll go from there, Rudy.
Okay. I have been in broadcast for about 5 years. I started out podcasting after I had an epiphany when I worked for a retail outlet. I'm not going to say the name of it, but I did, and woke up and said, this is not what I want to do. And I decided to get into podcasting. I have interviewed so many players, especially in the NFL. Recently appeared as here of the Colts quarterback. Colts had one of the better drafts, by the way. Not like the Giants, who didn't.
It's horrible.
I know it's a sore spot for you. But
It's horrible.
I started out podcasting, and then I received a call from a station out in Cheyenne, Wyoming, called KGWN, to be the sports reporter. So I went for podcasting and television, and it only took me 5 years to do it. Now, when I say only, I don't mean it was a snap of a finger. It came at a lot of various costs, a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, and a lot of tears in regards to getting me where I want to be. And I'm not quite there yet, but I've worked for NBC, CBS. I've been on many shows. I'm out here in the Denver area, and I'm trying to cover the Broncos this year as their training facility. So it's probably about 20 minutes for me. And I've interviewed some of the best. Matter of fact, I'm going to have Chris Nelson on, who's drafted by the Steelers. I'm going to have him on tomorrow.
Right.
So you can go to the RudeDogShow.com and check out my body of work.
I already searched it.
So here's the thing, because you're a Steelers fan by heart, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Now, there's several reasons why I want to have Rude Dog on the show. One, there's a connection between a lot of NFL players who are coming into the league, who are in the league, and who have left the league, right? And they all go through this traumatic experiences. And you've talked to some of these players that have gone through these experiences. And what is your take about these players that were once warriors on the field or warriors coming to the field and their breakdown?
Well, that's a loaded question. There are a lot of different parallels when you're talking about players and the battles and the backlog and the things that had affected them to get them to the next level, and that's in the NFL. There are guys who will probably never make it to the NFL. I don't know that they will or won't, but at this juncture, it doesn't look like they are. And as a player, from an athletic standpoint, not one player is like another. Yes, you put on a suit, you put on a helmet, you put on cleats and pants and cuffs and everything else under the sun. But what the real story is not their sacks, it's not their touchdowns, it's not fumble recoveries, it's not field goals from 50-plus yards away. It's about the individual.
See? And
that's what you're saying.
And we were just talking about people are humans and they get so disconnected. We get so disconnected to the human life of what these players are, and then we look at them as objects and we discount them as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason for that is the fandom aspect of it, because there's so many fans that are diehard this and diehard that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I take nothing away from anybody who wants to be a part of the fandom. The problem is, and I think where the ultimate disconnect is, and I have searched myself for this answer regularly to really try to find out what makes these people tick to lose sight of who these players are. First of all, they're not players first. They're humans. Mm-hmm. And with humans, you hear about trials and tribulations, like Tyreek Hill reopening that wound because he decided to pour salt on it due to an audio tape that was sent out by a local Kansas station, basically talking about using the B word, and we don't know if he actually hurt his son, if he broke his arm. We don't know anything about that. But I think that we miss the connection of who these people are. And it's more deep-seated than that, in the sense of you have guys like Johnny Manziel in the past that has gone to great lengths to get back into the NFL because of his fallout, because of the partying and the excess of life and what money brings you. And so if you're not prepared as a professional athlete, let's just say this starts a long time ago. We're not talking about at the collegiate level. We're talking about at a very young age.
Right.
If they
this
that's what we were saying, at a very young age.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying it earlier, Hope, that if a person does not, what is it? I'm losing my mind. What did you say? Learn at a very young age how to develop who they are. They become stuck.
Life skills.
They become stuck in sickness.
Right.
I think you're onto something there. I believe that that these people, and they're people first, they're players second, or athletes second, and of course players third, because sometimes they don't get to the next level. That these people are overlooked from what they really truly need. Instead, they have people who are around them, giving them the blowhard, you're the best, you're this, and you're that, and purely oversee what's not meant to be overseen. In other words, an interpretation that should be had is, if there are problems and issues, these people have alcoholic problems, addictions to drug pills, addiction to all different other types of drugs, things of that nature, or they've been involved in domestic violence. We're just talking about Tyreek Hill. And other players, the Ray Rices, and all these other guys, and sadly even James Harrison, a former Steeler, had issues and run-ins with the police due to domestic violence. Antonio Holmes, same exact situation. But what ends up happening is that these guys get overlooked, and the issues that they face are not being addressed. They're just being told, well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I've said this on quite a few podcasts. when Texas A&M head coach was asked when Johnny Manziel was being drafted that year, about 3 years ago, and whether or not he was a good person, he was strong in the locker room. He was liked by a lot of people.
Hold on. Hey, Rude Dog, we gotta take
a break.
We gotta take a break. We're gonna take a hard break here. You're listening to Bridges on the BBM Global Network, and I'm Dr. Paul.
And I'm Hope Dyer.
We'll be right back.
You know, it's just like how he was saying how they go through all of these alcoholic problems and drug problems, but you know, as the eyes of the audience, people are looking at them like they're supposed to be like some goddess, but if a regular civilian was to be doing drugs and stuff, it's no problem. But if an athlete does this and has a fallout, it's a huge thing, and then they get ridiculed for all the things that they're just being human.
But I think Rude Dog, you can hear us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what he was also saying too is that we're I said this earlier in the show. If we keep separating people from the first human that they're human, and we put them on these other
pedestals
or down,
yeah,
like we was talking about the nigger kike spit and all those things. Once we start putting people away from us on labels or whatever, we stop looking at them as humans, and then we don't give you the right to life.
Yeah.
We don't think you should have that right. And it's like
back in about 30 seconds.
Okay.
And this is the last long segment, and then we'll do a short one afterwards.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
So
it's like the Supreme Court.
Sorry. Okay, and 10. All right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and we are back.
Welcome back to the BBM Global Network. You are listening to
Bridges, and I'm Dr. Paul.
And I'm Hope Dyer.
And we're on the phone with Rude Dog, who is actually a sports broadcaster on his own podcast, and he's been doing this for a little bit. But we're talking about some of these athletes that have been not mislabeled, but not helped, at a young age. Not guided.
There you go.
And he's had some insights specifically talking with some of these athletes and been around them. So I've always thought that people should learn emotional intelligence and be critical thinkers. Is that something that people should have at a young age, or some of these athletes? Should they get help before they become athletes? What do you think?
There are so many different conflicting thought processes in regards to where these guys actually belong, in the sense of who's going to help them, are they going to cry for help? And as an individual on the outside looking in, you have to be able to notice these things. You don't have to be a psychologist or a psychiatrist to recognize that somebody's having problems, whether it's communications with their relationships, their family, their friends, their disconnect from school, their disconnect from their normal, regular activities. And people really fluff their pillows, telling them that, well, they'll be okay, they don't have to worry about the next level because I'll have all the money and they'll be able to take care of, X, Y, and Z, and ABC. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And when you have a player like Johnny Manziel, I hate to use him as an example, he's probably the best example I can think of. When you become an individual that's only out for one thing, when you walk out on the stage, if they're having his name picked by the Cleveland Browns, he threw out money on it. So I thought to myself, well, that's kind of odd. Everybody knows that when you're a first-round draft pick, you get paid the double-digit millions and a long contract, et cetera, and so forth.
Right.
But people overlook the problems that some of these athletes have. And you have to be objective enough to tell somebody and give them the actual tough love that they need so that way they can help excel. And I'll give you another good example of that. Another first-round draft pick last season was a guy who had problems in Oklahoma who played for the Sooners. And so he had the ability to be another Johnny Manziel, and he clearly is not Johnny Manziel. And of course, people should obviously know who that is in Baker Mayfield. But overall, he was coached up. He had the mentality, the attitude, the mindset to be able to focus and say, you know what, I'm not going to be like this person. This is not me. I'm not Johnny Manziel. And he believe Johnny Manziel told, I think it was ESPN, that he was not, that he didn't want Baker to be that guy, that he wanted to be better than he was. So I thought that was absolutely fantastic. And so at a very young age, it starts there. So to answer your question, to give you the long and the short of it, is as an individual who's been around other professionals to recognize that that's how they're supposed to act. Was he acclimated to it? Probably not. Did he have the kind of thing that Devin Bush, first round draft pick for the Steelers, who jumped up to number 10? He comes from a football background, football family. His dad was drafted in the NFL. He had a very supportive mom and family. So the foundation is set. So when you have that foundation, you're able to take that foundation and get to the next level and play your absolute best. And Baker Mayfield had an absolutely fantastic season last year, going into his second year. Right. So I look at athletes, I look at the disconnect, and I look at the ultimate situation that colleges would rather pass these guys off, just like they always do, to the NFL and give them the stripes and stars of who these guys are versus who they actually are, who they should be. And unfortunately, it falls on the shoulders of the scouts to not make that determination if these guys are good or bad picks.
You know, we come from, and I think we were talking about this, and for me, my tie-in is this. I think so many people come from trauma-inflicted lives. And this plays out on the Tyreek Hill breaking his kid's arm he didn't deny it. I think he broke it. I thoroughly believe he broke it. The atrocity of what he did to his son, a 3-year-old boy, I absolutely believe he broke it. So it doesn't matter. I don't have to go to a court of law. But I think his trauma that was in his life, he actually believed that was something that he was supposed to teach his kid to he was telling his son to toughen up by punching him in the chest.
See? Was the kid a boy?
He was a boy.
Exactly. So would he do that to his female daughter?
We don't know. We don't know. I mean, I don't know. And here's the thought process behind it. If he's going to hurt his son, nothing's going to take away from the fact that he could do that to his daughter. Why? Because if he treats his fiance, I guess is who she was, or girlfriend at the time, or what have you.
She still calls him a fiance.
He calls her name.
Right, he called.
You can speculate and say that he would do that to his daughter too.
Right, because he called her a bitch.
He did, absolutely. So he has no respect for women.
No,
that foundation was not set. He was probably came up with a single family home, right? A single parent home. So he had either his mom or his dad.
Sounds like father.
And he didn't have the right people in the right corners to look at him for who he is as an individual. And instead of looking at him as an individual, he looked at him for his athletic gifts.
Yeah.
Instead of the kind of stuff that somebody like him actually needed, which is therapy, which is somebody to actually tell him what the problem is without being in fear of their life. Because don't forget, these athletes are very strong, they're fast, they're agile, and they can take your legs off and run you in a blink of an eye. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. The Ray Rice video shows proof of that. Another former Chief star also showed proof of that on video. We don't have video, but we have audio, and that's damning enough.
That is damning enough. So
ultimately, go ahead.
No, before you have to take off, how can people listen to your podcast and get that information out there?
Oh wow, well you can find me everywhere. You can go to theruddogShow.com. That's TRUDDOGSHOW.com. And on top of that, you can go and follow me on Twitter at RudeDogReyes, hence the word Rude Dog.
Rude Dog.
And check out tomorrow's interview with Chris Nelson, who was drafted by the Steelers in this past draft. And we're going to talk about him and his life, and we're going to really get into the nuts and bolts of who he is. And I think that that's something that people need to really hone in on, regardless of what player it is, in order to recognize who they truly are. And once you understand them, they can see it.
When you talk to him tomorrow for us, please ask him how is he has trauma affected his life, and hopefully it doesn't keep cycling. But we're going to take a quick break here on Bridges on the BBM Global Network. Remember, you can catch the podcast
Every Monday.
Every month.
Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah, it'll come out. So, so please catch the podcast when we push it out about the show. So we'll be right back after these messages. Thank you, my brother.
Thanks for having me on.
We would love to have you on again. Yeah.
It was really nice
Let
meeting
me
you.
know.
So you have a good night. I know you got other work to do.
Yeah, always.
All right, brother. I will text you.
All right, thanks, guys.
I'll text you tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good.
Ashley,
Good meeting you as well.
Ashley, come on into the lighthouse.
Hi,
Hey, girl.
I'm here. Hey, hon.
Hi, Ashley.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Good, how are you?
So, you already know how I feel about fine. Honey, you already know how I feel about the situation.
So, what do you think so far, Ashley?
It was good, you know, it was good. You know, we had a wonderful guest. What was his name again?
Rude Dog.
Rude Dog.
Rudy is his name.
Yes.
No, but what do you think about this shooting that actually happened in the synagogue too, and things like that? I mean, that's a lot going on even right there.
Okay, I know, and you know what? I'm so upset, but at the same time, like you said, we can't just keep saying stop shooting, stop bullying, stop this and stop murdering, stop without actually doing something about it. You know, because it's like. That's why I don't watch the news. It's the same thing every night. Every night is something. It's the same thing, and it's like
Is it
That's true.
desensitized? So are you desensitized?
I feel like I
We're
just,
5.
Okay.
I feel like it's, like when our teacher asked us, it's like we've been growing up with shootings in schools. Like it may be affecting the adults out there because they never grew up with shootings in schools, but I mean like it's just been happening since forever.
All right. You guys.
Right.
All right, so we're back in 5, 4, last segment, and 3, 2, and we're back.
Welcome back to the BBM Global Network. You are listening to Bridges.
And I'm your host, Dr. Paul.
And I'm your co-host, Hope Dyer.
And we were just talking to Rude Dog, and Rude Dog was on the air, and he was talking about some of the athletes that are not being treated as human beings or recognized
Right.
as being treated as human beings. And he had a very good insight to some of these players that have been caught in trouble for a lot of the things that they did or didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because that they were not, what did he say? They were just not looked at as humans.
Yeah.
They were looked at as something other.
Someone said they are paid role
Right.
models.
They're not paid role models. They're not role models.
But think of how many children look up to
They're paid
LeBron
role models.
James. They're right, Ashley. I told you they're paid role models.
I'm sorry. That's why, because I'm really deep into that industry. You know, by me, you know, from my models and my dancers and working at the club and knowing the agents and know the coaches and know what goes on behind closed doors. I know how those contracts. It consists of drugs, sex, just, you know, all kind of crazy. Just it's all a setup. Because baby, the more popular you are, the more money they give you. The more crazy, the more you go out there and you win. They don't care what. They don't care if you got tissue failure, back aches. They gonna give you a pill, give you some medicine, give you a shot, and keep you pushing. You gotta keep going, or somebody else gonna take your contract, and they will do whatever it takes to keep that lifestyle. I cannot. It's horrible. I hate that my son loves football so much. I hate it. That's why I have him play every single sport. You know, Dr. Paul, I have him play every single sport so he won't, you know, so he can just love something else.
And you want to be this mom.
I mean, it's just.
And she was just talking about how she wants to be the sports mom.
No, I didn't necessarily say the sports mom.
You said,
There's nothing wrong with being a sports mom.
I
I'm
just-
a sports mom too. I'm going to Rudy Tootie.
Exactly, but he thinks I'm gonna be a little crazy and, you know, be a little extra.
you're a little extra.
That's Me too.
Yeah, but he thinks I'm gonna go so
We're
extra.
supposed to be extra.
He thinks I'm gonna be the one to yell at the ref.
Yeah, I do that all the time. They used to
See,
me doing
I can
that.
see Ashley being that.
I try not to. I really do, because Coach King, he be getting. I mean, he be like, it be bad. Yeah, you know, it's a lot that goes on in the sports world. And,
It does.
You know, and with the shooting today, it's a prime example, because, like, you know, it's just so much, because it's just a lot going on. And no, the society's not doing anything about it, because there's too many headlines. They're not doing nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Arkansas still got their hold your ground law. They still got it. Black people are still getting shot for no reason. You know? So it's nobody's doing anything about it at all.
I think if we don't take, and it's not about responsibility. I think we throw that word around. I think we say, take responsibility of your actions. Someone needs to take responsibility. Someone needs to be responsible of what's going on. I think we're way past that. I think we are responsible for each other.
You just used the word.
Yes, we are responsible for each other.
No, I'm not asking you to take. I'm not.
They don't want us to be responsible for each other. They don't want that. They know we're too powerful. If they actually get it, if they actually people come awake and they actually get it, that we hold the power, they don't want it. They don't want that to happen. That's why it's so hard for just for you to get off the ground. They don't want it to happen.
No.
Well, I just want to say thank everyone for listening to Bridges on the BBM Global Network.
Right.
And the show went pretty fast, and thank you, Miss Ashley, for coming in from Houston, the CEO of Just Be You magazine. Thank you. You're always, I call it boots on the ground. And we want to thank Rudy from Rude Dog Show and for coming on the Bridges.
Right.
Ultimately,
thank you everyone for your comments.
But we also just want to say, I hope you treat people as human beings and learn to be compassionate, because
I just don't think people treat people how you want to be treated as serious as they should.
No, but we'll talk about that in a different time. We love you all, and thank you for listening to Bridges.
Have a wonderful evening.
I'm your host, Dr. Paul.
And I'm your co-host, Hope Dyer.
Good night.
Have a wonderful evening. I said that twice.
He did.
Huh. Have an extra wonderful evening.
Okay, well, very cool. We made it through.
We did.
Thanks, Barry.
Table talk, guys. Table talk. Call me.
Wednesday.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, Ashley.
Okay, you guys. Well, cool. I hope you guys can get that fixed. Like I was saying with your setup and everything. You said, Paul, it was something about